guys.
Yes,
Hello,
we are
mates.
late. Sorry.
We are
Oh,
late.
Don't go to info@cowsill.com to tell us we were late this week.
Do they
Okay.
do that, Bob?
Well, they'll say, hey, can you get on your game, please? I mean, there's a large subset out there,
There
and
is.
it's
But you know
okay.
what? There's a large world right here. Uno, dos, tres.
In a recent episode, we discussed about why sometimes the schedule can get a little askew. So
Askew.
we've covered that subject, and yes, this week we're late again. All
We're
right,
askew,
sorry.
darn it. But look, we can blame me this week if we like. Let's just choose me. It's
Let's pick Susan. I'm in.
Jazz Fest. That's
Well,
right. Let's pick me. It is Jazz Fest week, which means today, well, all leading up to everybody rehearsing 17 rehearsals, 17 everything, because it's the marathon. Today is the first official day of Jazz Fest. The fairgrounds open today. And that means that the
Exciting.
marathon starts, like all the boys.
And who is the headliner for Jazz Fest, such a focused festival coming out of New Orleans, known for
Wow.
jazz?
Wow.
Who's the
Wow.
headliner?
I think that by about 20 minutes from now, I'm going to let you know who the main guy is, but I can tell you who some of the other players are because I don't have the main guy. I
This is
know
going
that
to be the elite of the jazz empire world. Go.
that's correct. So the deal is that the locals is who I'm mostly tuned in for. But one of our main national acts is Lil Wayne's coming. Lil Wayne,
Lil
the
Wayne,
rapper.
nothing screams jazz more to me personally, anyway, than
Boy,
Little
then
Wayne.
Lil Wayne, the rap artist. Oh, maybe this
Yeah,
will though. Wait, I think we have a jug band also that will be playing, which
that's
again
cool.
screams nothing more than trad jazz. Heritage. I think that these new bands, any band that isn't jazz, will fall under the heritage of the Jazz and Heritage Festival moniker. Okay, but tomorrow Russ is playing with local band Riverbenders, who I sit in with if I'm here, but bigger and better. So tomorrow's Riverbenders and Little Wayne. So that means that the two grown-up kids get in free tomorrow so they can go see Little Wayne the rapper while I watch the baby.
ah,
You know what I'd like to see?
Yeah.
Little Wayne rapping with the jug band. I'm serious. I'm not even making that up and being funny. I would
You
be
know what, Bob? That'd be
fascinated.
kind of cool.
Right? If you think
Yeah.
about it. Okay,
Mixing
fine.
cultures,
Well,
traditions. I
that's
like
good.
it.
All right, good,
But
good,
that's
good.
what's up
Hey,
here. So I literally,
we
guys,
got
after this, I'm headed to a
listen,
show.
we got a big weekend coming for the Cowsills.
Oh, yes,
It
we
is a
do.
it is a trio trip. We call them TTs now.
I
It's
call
a
them bank
trio.
robberies.
Oh no, we better not. We'll go the long version. It's a trio trip because
Trio trip.
it's like cotton picking, finger licking, chicken plucker. You
Chicken
can't
plucker.
miss
yeah, yeah.
you can't mistake it. All
And
right.
it's also, isn't that what like Chuck, Joe Chuck? But yeah, it's all those and
No,
more.
cotton picking, finger licking, chicken pluckers from the Smothers Brothers, but that's
All
okay.
right.
That's funny.
We do have a weekend coming, and we are heading to the Midwest of this country.
Going,
And
heading.
on the 2nd of May, we are at the Merriman PAC, which
Hey, is
stands
this the
for
Robin
Performing
Hood
Arts
related
Center,
thing?
with the association in Kearney, Nebraska. Yeah.
Kearney.
Yep. Two
Paul and
shows.
I.
From there, we're just gonna hip hop over to Hutchinson, Kansas, and play at the Fox Theater, 7:30 at night. There are two shows at the Merriman, 2 p.m., 7 p.m. For more detail about what that weekend kind of entails, please refer to our brother in the other square, Paul Cowsill.
Hello,
Hey
there he is,
guys,
Info Paul.
He's
we
got
thought
it.
we thought we'd let y'all know out there, kind of like, we just talk about, yeah, we're going here, and then when we come back after we have done it on our podcast, we went, oh yeah, we went there and we did this, but you guys don't really know what is happening as far as what it takes for us to get
What
from
we get
point A
paid for.
to point B. Well, yeah, that's for sure. And this will be one of those kind of
Home
weekends
stage.
because here's how it's going to roll out for us. And Bob and Susan don't know this yet. So
Oh, this
anyway,
is exciting. Go.
yeah. So we all got our flights. We're going to be flying into Kearney. We get in at 6:20. Okay, 6:20 in the
Morning or
evening
night?
at night. And so what that means is that we're going to miss the rental car place because they close at 6. Okay. So what's going to happen is we're going to get picked up by Denise or a driver at the airport, taken right to our hotel. Now, we're going to have a great night at the hotel. We're going to try to get a lot of rest there because the very next day, so Saturday, we have two shows, but at 8:50 in the morning, we are going to be picked up by our people, and we're going to be taken to, I believe it's a radio show. I'm trying to find out if it's TV or radio right now. But what we're going to, it's a PBS, it's a public broadcasting, but it's the Nebraska, it's actually we're going to be doing it at the Museum of Art of Nebraska Art. Okay. And it's going to be a live appearance. And what they want is we're going to do a song, and then they're going to ask us a couple of questions. It starts at 10, going to ask us a couple of questions, and we're going to do that. And then that'll be that. And it'll be really a great thing for us to do.
Okay.
And so then we're going to go from there. We're going to go right to now we haven't gotten the car yet. Okay. We're still being chauffeured about, which is cool. And so then we're going to be taken from the Museum of Art over to the Merryman, where the sound checks will be happening. The association are going to sound check first, and then we're coming in last. We're not really worried about it because we're doing our threesome, and this is about the quickest thing as far as a sound check could ever be. It's really an easy production deal for us.
Yeah.
So then we're going to go there, and then after that thing right there at the Merryman, we're going to be taken from there to get the rent-a-car.
Oh, after a radio thing.
After the radio thing, after I believe
sound
our
check.
sound
After
check.
sound check, after
Yeah.
everything.
Okay, and I'm finding out about, I know there's green rooms and dressing rooms, so we'll make a decision on our own whether we want to leave at 8:50 prepared for the whole day to go to the Merryman to get the car, to come, because they're saying you can go get the car, then go back to the hotel, and then come over to the Merryman. I don't know if we're going to get that go back to the hotel thing, if it's going to feel good to us at all to do that. We're probably going to want to
Long
get to
enough.
No, we know
Right.
it's not already. This is
I'd
great.
rather
We're
sit in the
making
green
decisions.
room. Sit in the green
Yes.
room.
Green
Yeah,
room.
okay. So then we go to the Merryman and we do that, and then we'll go get the car and we'll head right back to the Merryman. So we'll probably want to have our clothes with us and those kind of things. We'll be ready for the day,
So
which will make
maybe-
it a lot easier for us.
For sure.
And so then we do the show at 2, and
In the
and we'll be on
afternoon?
it first.
2 shows, matinee.
This is very exciting stuff. Keep going.
And these are
Guys,
50-minute sets.
Just, yeah, 50-minute sets in Kearney, 50 minutes. Go ahead.
That's a nothing. For us, that's like we're going to be looking for more time. We're going to be going into the association's time. No, we're not.
No,
We're
no,
not.
no, we're not.
We'll behave.
aren't like
We'll
that.
behave.
Very bad.
Okay.
form.
And so there we are. We do our 2 shows. We do our meet and greets, and we do all of that on Saturday. And then Sunday, we wake up. We'll probably our sound check in Kansas is at 3:30. So it's about a 4-hour drive.
It'd be beautiful.
And we're going to not have traffic because it's Saturday, it's the weekend. So it's a 4-hour drive. We can leave at 10 or 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So, well, yeah, we could leave at 10:30, to split
That's
the difference.
sleeping in.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
It
it'll
is.
seem very cash. And so then we go there and we'll do that show. And we were going to get rid of, oh my God, I had so many weird scenarios happening to
What are
try
we
to get
gonna
that.
do? Tell us.
Well, and so, but what we ended up
Rid
with,
of
and
the
it was
car.
well, rent a car, where to dump the car. The problem is that the enterprises in both Kansas and Nebraska close at ungodly hours, and they're not open Saturday and Sunday.
Because
And
they're in
these are
Kansas
these are the 2 days we're working. I didn't want to leave it with Josh, the promoter, to return on the Monday, because that's like paying extra money for nothing. So, and then when you guys go, man, let's stay in full control. So now here we are, and we're in Kansas, and we do our show there, and now it's all up to us. We have our car. We're 50 minutes from Wichita airline. 50
okay.
minutes. It's not even an hour.
Yeah, man,
Okay.
25.
I'll pay the drop-off fee and drop the car at the airport.
Well, that's what we're doing. We're going to roll to
I'll
the
split it
airport.
with
It's
them.
going to be, it'll be 4 in the morning when we get there, or hopefully a little earlier. And then we'll go and we'll dump the car. I've already told them we're dumping late, and then we'll be there. And I don't know how big Wichita is. I'll find out these little things as the week goes by. But maybe we just walk to the terminal, or maybe that bus will be there. We're not going to really worry about that.
I feel like it's small.
I believe so. I don't think it's as small as Redmond, but it could be Branson.
I
You
feel
know,
like
I'm thinking of a Branson kind of a airport kind of thing.
That's what I feel.
And so then that would be that. And then we have finished. It'll be a tough weekend. You know, I know we just read it and that sounds easy enough, but you know, physically
Yes.
doing all these things is always a bit different. Yeah.
Let me
Right, Bob.
see. Now here's the insight for our listeners, okay? Because this is starting to fill in like, what do these people do when they're not on stage on these weekends
Yeah.
out? Okay, but listen, here's the deal.
Why
Like
can't we hang out?
now, now you know what Paul does. We all have jobs in the band, okay? And you just heard Paul's report to the committee on his job, and he handles all this stuff. It's like maybe it's my age. I'm contracts and merch. Paul is this. And it's like it all works out. And when I hear Paul do what he does, I'm really glad that I have to do what I
Your
do.
contracts and merch, you digging it.
And that, well, now yesterday I had a good day. For instance, Paul and Susan can generically address that. We
Correct.
thought of, searched out, and exposed just a little money that was kind of sitting that we got a sense about. Anyway, we had talked about, right, Paul? Oh, Susan, yeah.
So, saw it,
But
saw
there
it.
you go. That's a lot of work. What
But
Paul
here's
just
the
described. Okay.
here's the
With
thing
little
though.
sleep,
Yeah,
very
and
little
so,
sleep.
Yeah.
so honestly, very little sleep, and
But
we
it's a
are
lot of work
also
putting it together. That's a lot of
yeah.
phone calls. It's a lot of
Oh
texting. It's a
yeah,
lot
That's
of
yeah. Oh
what
my
we
emails.
God.
get paid for. That's
Do
where
I
the
have the
money
right
goes.
guy? Do I have the right girl? You
And
know,
anymore, you're right. Look, guess what I bought? I'm going to bring something to the table because of everything you just said and freaking phones. I'll be right back. Keep going.
okay.
You'll
All right.
see. You'll love it.
All
Very
right.
good. Very good.
Hey, anyway, so Kearney, that's 50, 2 50-minute shows. We can just go over a little
Yep.
few. Hey, you guys in Hutchinson, the show's at 7:30. We're gonna do like a 75-minute set there. It's one show. We're gonna do about a 75-minute set in Hutchinson. And hey, maybe we'll put a Q&A. We love Q&As. And we have got some good questions at info at Cowsills, by the way. You guys are writing in some good stuff. I know we get on tangents and we don't get to it, but we will eventually. I got to go over a meeting I had with Brad from Omnivore, okay,
Do it.
about the
Do it,
Cocaine
Bob.
Drain album.
Trying to show
About
you
the,
guys. Oh,
yeah.
go ahead. Wait, this is
Oh no,
important.
wait. What do you have?
I don't know how quite to show it because
Where'd
you
you
know.
Get
go?
the same way you did it. You get in
Susan,
Yeah,
front of
but
where
it.
are
it's
you?
big.
All
It's
you
big.
audio people, Susan, we hear her, we don't see her,
All
we
right,
don't know what's
tell
going
a
on.
story, Bob, while I work on this about
Well,
Omnivore and your talk with Brad, and
All
I'll
right,
work
make
on
sure
the
you
visual.
listen.
take away your green screen, Susan, to show us
I
this.
don't have one. Oh,
No, there she
Yeah,
is.
you
I saw
do.
her.
there it
There
is.
you are.
What do
Oh.
you see?
I see your calendar.
What kind?
A
The
big
big desk
rectangular one.
kind. The kind you put on your desk that is so giant. And it is
That's what I have
do you, Polly? This
every
is
year.
how I stay because I can't look at that phone and all those dots and all the colors because it's all color coded and we have 5 different color codes. But
Oh,
this
nice.
tells me what I'm doing because Dad always had these. This is how I grew up. And so
Yeah.
just wanted to share
Very
that.
good.
Thank you.
Nice.
I
Nice.
also would never be able to transfer the way I do that thing with that calendar to my wrist where I'm going like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
ridiculous. This is
Can't
my
do
new
it.
favorite
Okay.
thing right in front of me.
I
Yeah.
do forget to turn the page every now and then because
Oh, to the next month.
yeah, you know, an empty month, I never look at it, you know, so it's a pretty funny deal. Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
is when
Okay,
you
Bob,
see
you were going to share Omnivore.
Yeah, I will. Just one more comment. What's great is when you put them behind each other, however you don't throw them away. So you'll pull out a year and you'll look at holy mother of God, how did I do that? All right. Anyway,
And you can
yeah, I
see
had
it.
lunch with Brad, our
Okay.
owner slash president slash CEO slash supporter at Omnivore Recordings and Tapes and CDs in Pasadena. It was great. Just to touch base, and get
Yeah.
caught up. And he started talking about the Cocaine Drain album because that's next. And we all know when something's next, then you can talk about it.
Okay, so
Right.
we're
In
talking
Brad's
about
world,
it.
in Brad's world, you know how these people move on. They're kind of building a box set in our very eyes in front of us. Anyway, so here comes the next entry. All right. And I got to tell you his first question. Okay. So he goes, so let me ask you about the Cocaine Drain album. I said, cool. And he goes, is there any way to change the name of that?
Whoa,
goes, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, I mean, and he felt it's an old trap, right? But he couldn't reconcile the Cowsills recording an album called the Cocaine Drain album. Okay. And he goes, and he says that. I said, no, Brad, the interesting thing is actually that exact thing that the Cowsills recorded the Cocaine Drain album. I
Thank
kind of pushed back
you.
and I reversed it on him. But anyway, with a little discussion, I explained the history. There's no way. That's ridiculous. It's like
Thank
it's
you,
not gonna,
Bob.
yeah, it can't happen. No way.
Oh,
And
brother,
he goes,
thank you.
oh yeah. I go, that's historically just set in stone. And and I said, look, it's not like we sat down and hey, what are we gonna call our album?
Mm.
It never got to be an album. So we didn't call the album anything because it didn't have a name. But
But
over
everybody
time,
knows.
it was referenced as the Cocaine Drain album. And in the beginning, it probably was as simple as that's the first song on the album, The Cocaine Drain. Okay.
The
Now
rain
there's
song.
in its true history, where everything is shed and shown, there's an irony in the title of the record. That is the absolute truth. Okay. It ended up being ironic that of all things, okay, but it really was just, it was the first song written by John Hall, etc. So then Brad goes, well, are you going to let us do the album cover? I said, absolutely. You did a great job on Global. He goes,
They're
well,
going
I
to
don't
make
know
sure
what,
there's not
I
a
don't know
pile of
what,
blow.
he goes, well, I don't know what our guy could come up with, but that's, well, let's wait and see, man. And it's just, it was so funny how it just pops a reaction from people. Look,
So
we've lived with it our whole life. It's like the
our
living
kids
room
know it.
suite. That's the same words as the living room suite or the Cocaine Drain album or Abbey Road. So to other people, the what?
I mean,
Yeah, but
our own.
I mean, well, right away, Cocaine Drain, obviously, it's negative about cocaine. I
Oh,
mean,
it's cool.
it's not building cocaine up. It's actually going, hey, don't do this
Not at
because
all.
it can be
And they,
trouble.
I think in the
I
environment we
think
all
it's
live in
great,
and
Bob.
whatever, right? Whatever. And then I was thinking about it. I came up with a cover for it. I did.
What?
I came up with just start with a black square
Okay.
and in good white print, put the Cocaine Drain album by the Cowsills.
Jesus, that's beautiful. That
Oh,
is.
that's like Kanye.
Oh, is
It's
it?
Kanye
I
West.
don't want to copy anybody, but that's how I see it.
Bob, that's
Kanye's last
genius.
album came out. It didn't have any writing on it. It came out and it was just black without
But
his name
dude,
on it.
okay,
Yeah,
but
that's
listen, listen, listen.
yeah, just
That is
black.
a really beautiful way. That it's so understated, and it
Pop
just
out,
says it,
you know,
and it's a
they pop
black
out.
cover.
The black
Hit
cover,
me right.
and then but in the Cowsills, we make lines.
Paul
Don't
Cowsills.
make it perfect lettering.
No, you
Make it
can't do
like a
that.
cocaine
No, we
line.
can't do
Don't
that with
start.
little mountainous
Hold it.
ridges.
All right. I know it's tempting to misbehave with the suggestion. It's like, don't make
Right.
it crisp outline, make it wrinkly so it looks like,
Yeah.
we can't.
Here's the
It's
thing, though.
tempting.
I
We could
think that
hide
this
stuff
is.
maybe. And maybe on the back of the album, it's a white album. And in black, it's the Cocaine Drain album by the Cowsills.
Oh God, you're just thrilling me. I want you to write
Right?
these. All right, I want
It's
our
very simple. Oh, no, it's
people
very
to tell us
simple.
if they think those are good ideas.
But you know what, guys?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
pictures out there also. Well, Bob, that picture that you put on the original Cocaine Drain album.
I don't remember it.
Flatbed truck. Well, that's our
Oh,
global.
We're on
That's
a
our global
flatbed.
picture. Yeah, that's our picture. Like we got the one global one.
that was that cool
Right.
flatbed gig.
Well, and it was a cool picture, and it would show us all at that age.
We
You
were
know.
right to. Oh, at the time,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
another
and-
option.
and the band, it had, look, that band was Barry and you and me and Susan and Johnny Boy and Dennis,
Oh,
and we
that's
had a
nice.
good,
Everybody's
we had a good
represented.
band. And
Oh,
we
that's
can put
a good suggestion. No matter what,
we
it
can-
should be in there.
we can put a call out for anybody, because look, guys,
Ideas?
this is way
Just for fun.
pre-internet. Okay, anybody have pictures from the Cocaine Drain days? And believe me, I think we can gather some things. You never know, but
No, but that's a
how
good
could we
shout out
have
to our
done
friends,
that?
our fans.
Yeah, and never kept a camera going down at Clover. We were knuckleheads, man, but we never viewed ourselves as historic at the
Hey,
time.
but Bob, also, you guys, we didn't realize our lives were going to be on social media we
That
wouldn't
this
have
could be
thought like
foreseen,
that.
right?
It
Yeah,
never would have occurred to us to do
correct.
Yeah.
anything. That's just,
Correct.
don't get me started. Hey, but
Right,
Well, and
here's
so-
also, I mean, you would
Yeah.
have had to have a real camera at the cocaine drain thing. It wasn't about phones.
Paul, I'm talking about even an Instamatic. Hey, here we are. Here's Toby. Here's
Right.
Chuck. Hey.
That would have had to
yeah,
been
that
that
would
way.
be cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would look great. You guys,
I know.
I interrupt this regularly scheduled podcast to
We
say,
were-
please go out and get your Betty White stamps if you haven't already.
Yeah.
White
Okay.
stamp.
There's your, yeah. Anywho, yeah, well, that's great. So then, and they're
Okay,
thinking
Commercial
what,
interruption.
in a
Sorry,
year
guys.
and a half or so, the Cocaine Drain album?
That
No,
long?
not at all. Not at all.
Not necessarily.
No, they think August. They're looking at August.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that was a if or a maybe. That wasn't. It's coming out in August. But that's
Wow.
what they're thinking. You
That's
know,
Okay.
sooner
of
than
course.
2 years.
And by the
man.
way, guys, folks, we're bringing you in the middle of meetings here, but we are next to respond with like, hey, even that, Susan, even album cover suggestions that we just
Correct.
came up with. We
Correct.
can go back with that. We can go back with, could you give us what are your thoughts about releasing this? We've met, we know it's coming out. Give us some details and see what they're up on, see what
I
they
like
think.
it. I like it. It's very exciting. I mean, we're really
And
lucky that
it's
we
gonna be the
recorded these things.
Cocaine Drain album, and this one's gonna have 5 bonus tracks. Couldn't it be love? She said to me, "Say you love me." The others.
Don't
Yeah.
wanna hear no
Yep.
other word, say you
Gonna be
love me.
those. That little group we did in Emmett Road studio out in the valley.
Yes.
Damn
Yes.
it.
A lot of it was
That
done
was a
out.
really fun day. I remember
Yeah,
it
that
well.
was a fun. That was Couldn't It Be Love? I remember that because
Yeah.
I was asleep on the couch. It was
Yeah.
very late at night. Toby had to wake me up to do the lead guitar for Couldn't It Be Love. And he told me later that I was so grumpy and mad that he woke me, that's why it sounds the way it does, so raunchy and mean.
I like
said,
that.
Oh, wow.
Really? Oh, okay,
No.
thanks, Toby.
I could go with that.
Huh.
Who
I
knew?
remember loving
Anyway.
that song because Dwight had a song called Couldn't It Be Love on his current record at the time. And then you came to me with that, and I'm like, oh, it's Kismet.
Funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we do Say You Love Me, and Toby was there on the early demos when John sang that demo we wrote called Please Don't Say You Love Me. So Toby looks at us, he goes, so you write a song called Say You Love Me, and then you write Please Don't Say You Love Me. I said, hey,
You guys
whatever.
are frozen.
Okay, so we got to finish up the gigs to be professionals, guys. We got to talk about
Yeah.
Tom Ball on May 10th. Paul, go.
Polly.
Yeah, I just want so then you and Brad wrapped it up with
Oh,
Yeah, that was it in terms of it ended up being just Cocaine Drain,
Okay.
kind of focused thing. Oh, and then always he talks about the a cappella album. He thinks that's the best of all of them, and that's a great opinion, because his phrase is, look at he says, I tell people, he goes, this isn't just a cappella. Okay, so whatever.
Oh,
the
got ya.
these are 3 harmonies and they sing them so
we
good.
also need to make
Anyway.
a Christmas record. I'm just saying, and that's been okayed. Just saying.
Oh, there was a suggestion. Thank you, Susan. You reminded me.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Christmas album. Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
great?
Well, maybe not this year.
Another thought from Brad. He down the road, the a cappella album has 8 songs. Okay, we've done 8. And he thinks with the passage of time and the history of releases and what we got going on, that if we went in and picked one from Rhythm of the World and one from Global and one from the Cocaine Drain album and added that and got it to 11, it'd be like unbelievable.
Not
So
terrible.
that's a suggestion.
and a cappella those 3 songs, whatever they
Acapella.
might be.
A cappella the ones to go
Cool.
with these and bring it up to date and finish it off. And
That's a
man,
cool
he
idea.
just thinks it would be unbelievable, So look, we always are open to that. It does sound good. Of course,
Yeah.
our brains immediately go to studio time, cost.
Well, here's the
effectiveness.
thing, and here's what my brain said. Steve Nails has been dying and wanting to, and before COVID came, remember we were heading up there to do some backgrounds for him because he
Right.
had
Maybe-
his recordings. Do
Maybe
you all
one
remember
more
that?
run through.
We could do
Right.
we could get it all done. So
Yeah.
I'll put a bee in the bonnets up at
Okay.
Dockside about time. Just
You
the
know,
heck- Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's almost acapella now, but man, we could do Getting Ready.
well, in terms of what are we gonna do? Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
Polly said it. It's already kind of
that's a
almost.
good one.
Almost.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Really
Or is
good
that why
one.
you don't do Getting Ready? But anyway.
Well,
No.
You know, it's tempting. God, I don't know. Would you do Getting Ready is a very good one. Very good. Oh, maybe we could
that was an
mimic the
inspiring thought.
tag and all that business.
And all the
Yeah.
boo. We could do a lot of real
Look, our brains are
spooky.
going already. What do we do off
Yeah,
road?
yeah.
With Some Good Years?
Look,
I
look,
don't
look.
know.
People ask, how do you guys do what you do? We have no idea. And it's like if we were if we were in a studio, we could do it now. See, it just happens. We don't know
We
what
could
we're
do
doing.
Some Good Years in one day, a cappella. Come up with something for that one. It'd be
Yeah.
easy. But
Oh,
I,
Yeah.
honest to God, I know
honest.
it's going to sound funny to all of you, but I don't have our own albums memorized. I gotta go look at them. Can't remember all the songs from even the old ones. What was that one on? What was that one on?
Yeah.
I
What was
hear
on
you.
that one? It's like
I hear
it's
you.
a mess up there. You
Yeah.
know,
A lot of
Yeah, yeah.
material, Robert.
because I'll look at Global and I'll see two I didn't think of just sitting there thinking, oh yeah,
Right?
that's
Right.
right. I forgot about
Right,
that one.
right.
Like What I Believe or whatever.
Hey,
Anyway, all right. So
you
anyway, that was the final end of the meeting.
Brad and
Well,
Omnivore.
good,
Yeah.
good.
And then
Because I
after
was
all
thinking
these,
maybe they wouldn't even want to keep going with this, with what they're doing, you know?
Yeah, they're
But
because
they
well, they
don't,
went through a lot with the fires and all, y'all. They
yeah.
lost a lot.
But yeah, but they don't really seem to care how many units we sell about of these things to keep their head going forward. It's an
Omnivore
odd,
is they've never been about that. They've been about music from the first
yeah,
time I met them in the 90s.
right on. Yeah.
They weren't looking to
I will
make
say
money off of
this,
the drifters. They knew they just want to get that music out there. They care.
when it comes to us, they've been working a long game. And we see the innings now, that we remember in the beginning, I kind of wanted it all out at once, and there's no long game. This is
Yeah.
the only game
Oh
we
my
got,
God,
man.
that's
We
right.
don't
I
have
didn't put
time
out
for a
that
long
model.
game, you
Right.
know.
And here we are at the
Paul,
end of the long rank game.
We're in
I,
the middle of it.
I have to say one
Yeah.
thing about Paul's dissertation, one last thing about the weekend coming up in Nebraska and Kansas, because I can't get a phrase out of my head. It keeps pounding me. The first thing he said was, we're going to get in and we're going to have a real fun night and get a lot of rest. Okay. Now I'm going, now first, my young brain says they don't
Don't
work
go
together.
together.
Yeah.
But I go, oh, but in an oldies band, that's like sounds like Nirvana. A real
Yeah.
good time is a lot of rest, and I'm still laughing
Yeah,
about it.
exactly.
My reaction to that was,
That's
I
pretty
just had to
great.
mention that
Thank you
as
for
Yeah,
sharing
yeah.
that because that works.
the funny thing.
It's like what?
So
Oh,
let's see, and then
all right.
September 10th, we're in Arlington. We'll get into that real quick because there was a message in info at Cowsill about Friday Harbor, July 26th, which we are going to be at. But the answer to your question is no, there is not going to be a second show in the town the next day. This is a private event at the Honeywell estate, and that's what it is this time. Correct, Paul?
Yeah.
Right.
Correct. I talked to
What
Lars
about
and he
that?
said, unfortunately, we could not get it together.
And we're
So,
fine
all
with that.
right.
We're
oh yeah.
fine with that. That's
And
cool.
to let everybody know who can't come, but we're excited because Felix Cavalier and his Rascals are coming out with us.
Yeah, that's
That's a
really exciting.
that's a
So that'll
good
be
double
crazy.
header.
So that's the
I
26th of July, right? When are we back out
Yeah.
with campers?
I want to see how this whole transpo thing happens this year with Felix coming into Seattle, Cowsills coming into Seattle,
Holy
and
guacamole.
that whole deal.
2 hour
Because
drive
Lars is going to try to
to the
say to us,
ferry.
guys, will you please rent a van and do that drive? And I'm going to say, no, we will not.
Thank you, Paulie. You guys
We
are very
can't do
good
it.
stewards out there doing
It's
this.
too much.
Here's
Yeah.
the big decision. The 27th, okay, we're going home from the Friday Harbor gig.
Mm.
The 28th, we're getting on a plane to get back on the Happy Together tour, which starts on the 29th. Okay. I don't know where that tour is starting, but I am 95% sure that I'm going from Seattle, Washington to that tour. And I'm not going to insert that day.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know
we
if I
can,
Oh,
can
no.
physically, if I can physically do it.
No.
But if it's like just
Yeah.
land and turn around, I can't put myself through it. I won't survive it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
Well,
bad
that's
no.
last
overstating.
time.
I'll survive
Well,
it, but you know what I'm
We're
saying?
playing.
we'll survive it
Yeah.
like we did last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're playing in Binghamton, New York, which is close to Syracuse. But
Okay.
Binghamton has its own airport, and we've flown into small towns and the planes are not propeller planes unless you're in, one of those Alaskan air guides, which are jet propelled. But so I would think because just the way we flew into Kearney, people fly into Omaha, they don't fly into Kearney. Okay. But
Yeah, and
we're
depend
flying into
right.
Kearney. So it'll be
Yeah.
that, it'll be the smaller jet, the connection jets that we've been on a
Yeah.
million times.
I was not meant to die on a small jet. That was clear
Right,
when we
right.
went to Hawaii.
So
Yeah,
we want to
right.
look at that because it's northern New York. So Syracuse and Buffalo, these are names that are mentioned about airports, but they're like 80 miles away, 73 miles away. So
And
we're
then
going to
we
fly
pay for
into
that. Then you pay for it too,
Binghamton.
They're not
Yeah.
paying for it. So
Mhm.
No.
we'll look into that at the time, but that's
So
looming. Hey, we
yeah,
got Abbey Road on the river, you guys, next year, late May,
fun.
22nd and 23rd. We're gonna learn Beatles songs.
Learn Beatles songs.
Well,
I'm
maybe
Yeah.
we will learn new ones. I mean, look, what can we do? Today we could do 8 days a week, this boy,
just saying.
8 days
And
a
that
week,
other
this
one,
boy.
the,
What
the
else?
third,
Oh, we can do I'll Be Back.
yes, that we've already done.
That was really good too, guys.
Be right there.
There you
Well,
go.
you're gonna hear this boy and I'll be back this weekend, folks. That's
I
funny.
just think
Yes.
we already know
In
them, but then
Nebraska.
when I sing that boy when I'm supposed to say this, it proves I don't. So
Oh, I love it.
that is the funnest thing now. In front of that song makes me tickled.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
Okay,
Main
you
Street
said there was in.
Crossings is 10th. We didn't talk about Main Street Crossing.
All
Thank you
right.
for having us back a third time.
Thank you
Maddie,
guys.
that's Matt at Tomball. Matt, we love you, Matt. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Tomball.
we love Matt.
Yeah.
Matt and
8
Mom.
8 p.m. show on the 10th. You know the scene there. People have gone there. We just love it. It's very intimate and the food's good.
Food is great.
And
And
Food.
it's funny because and Matt knows he knows his people, he knows his club, he knows his town.
he
But for the
does.
Cowsills, we think, we're thinking, wow, he keeps bringing us back, not just every year, twice in a year. And he must feel as though
It works.
it's supported.
Yeah.
He's not there
Last
to,
they're already booked our last gig for this year on December 15th, and then we kind of holidays. But we
Yay.
did
But
that.
listen, y'all. I
so
mean,
there,
oh,
so there you go. So it's
There
another
you
mini
go.
residency.
that's like Vegas. I was just gonna say
Yep.
it's like
We
Vegas.
have
I mean, there
Yeah.
are.
two mini residencies. Yep.
So I guess
Vegas.
sometimes people's model does not require some major out situation. Their model, like because they have anchor gigs for their venue that bring them big, 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 and then they can do whatever they, I mean, you got to figure there's a rhythm for these folks.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
since you mentioned anchor gig, Susan, I did want to bring up the point that yes, there is a third mini residency available to us. We know about it. We will get back to the cutting room in New York City. It'll
Yeah.
happen, but it's such a you know what happened, folks. It's so expensive to move this group around to one night in New York City. You've got to have an associate with that anchor gig.
Gotta have it.
Wolf
Yeah.
Den, we were there last February in the Wolf Den. Now I know they're skipping probably, but it'd be nice if we could get back there, man. They're the best co-gig for us with New York City. It's perfect that weekend. But that's
Yeah,
what
that
we're
is a
waiting on,
hookup
guys. We're
that
not.
works.
And Steve, if you hear this, man, we love you at the cutting room. We love all the
You know.
bands you have, and we're coming back.
Yeah.
Trying to
I
work it
love those
out.
guys, Steve and Susie. That's like home over there.
We got, and
Yeah,
plus
a
we
lot
have
of
life
home.
is interruptus issues that
Gotta
you
deal
almost
with
were and
them.
then you couldn't. You almost did, but then you didn't. That goes on there.
Right, right, right,
So
right.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. You guys. We love a night in New York City. Love it.
Oh, we do. We love the pizza. I mean, good Lord, the pizza.
Yeah.
Just the pizza.
Anything
So, Bob,
else?
you said info, you had interesting something.
You know what? It's really interesting. Your letters
Oh, you
and
said.
info are great. Let me go to one. I just need to go to one. Actually, one of them was about dad, and we'll only have time for this. Very interesting. That She wrote in and asked if our dad ever apologized for sabotaging our career. That's one question. I want to answer that. The other was, what was your relationship with him after everything fell apart, which you guys could just give a short thing on, and I could too. And there was one other component, but that's enough because I'm going to tell you something. Number one, our dad did not sabotage our career. We are still having a great career, in my opinion. Okay. I don't go there to dad about sabotaging the career. He sabotaged steps along the way during the career. I'll give him that. Some very terrible ones. And that we were able to keep our heads above water. And yeah, maybe if he had been a better manager, a better person, a better dad, maybe the stuff we're putting out even today was millions and millions because it's us. Like the
Yeah.
Jonas Brothers do an album a night at Yankee Stadium, that kind of thing. Paul?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you, Bob. I don't think he sabotaged our career. What he sabotaged was the family. He sabotaged our personal existence in the world as we move forward. Look, I mean, we all got issues. We're all damaged in some kind of way, and that's all because of Bud. So, but as far as musically and the music and stuff, he was just in over his head, guys. It wasn't like he was out to sabotage anything. He
No.
was in over his head, and I think he needed to keep drinking to just like go, wow, man, I'm way in over my head.
Well, can I add
Agree
my
with you. He needed to
my
keep drinking because people that do that, their attitude is, I got this. Okay, so he took care of the family 100%. Look, we can all admit he blew it. Okay, now over into the career, he's more an obstacle than anything to himself and of course us in the business and what we're trying to accomplish. Look, every other step of the way was his misstep. Okay, that we had to recover from and did, in some astonishing ways at times. Okay,
Mhm.
but in the long run, that's just gonna everything. So
Well,
in that regard, yeah. Did he ever? Oh, that was it. The third one was, did he ever say he was sorry? And I will only say one thing, that in People magazine itself, the quote I'll never forget was, he said, I would not have wanted me for a father. And that was apology enough for me. Because a guy like that's not going to sit down and say, oh, because he sat us down and was screaming at us because we never said thank you to him one day. Okay. So it's like these people interpret the way they do and read it the way they read. And that's what you deal with. You manage that. And that's what we did with him.
and
Yeah. Susan?
I just personally think there wasn't, to me, sabotage is an intentional move.
Right.
One can self-sabotage unintentionally. You do stuff that sabotages your mission, what your intention was, and then you do something that does not move in that direction, and that is a sabotage. But I I think all dad's sabotaging, all of it, he did plenty of it, was unintentional. He didn't know. He just didn't know. And there's a period into that. And insert topic here, insert topic here, insert topic here. He didn't know anything. He didn't handle
Yeah.
any.
His grave error was not knowing. His grave error was not saying to himself, well, I better go find somebody who does.
There
Okay,
you go,
that's what
man.
successful people do, right?
That is
Yeah.
He wasn't going
correct.
to do that, right?
But then that
Now,
was
Right.
alcohol and all
I
that other shit.
I can go one sentence on what happened to me and my parents after all that, when it all fell apart. Everyone's gone. Okay, my misstep in life was I did not pursue a relationship with my dad. I let it go. I didn't see him. And because my mom was loyal to my dad, I didn't see her either. And that was the mistake. I sacrificed my mother because she stayed with a person.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I didn't know they were both going to die young. I wish I had known that because we all know what would have happened. Okay. Eventually he'd be in a square. They'd both be in squares on our
And
Zoom. You know
we
what I mean? That's not going to be allowed to happen. And then you have regrets. Okay. And then you learn your lessons and you can help others and all that. So that's
pass it
my take.
along. I hear you.
And my I sacrificed grandparents to my children for that, which they still talk
Yeah.
to me about. I misstepped. Okay. Now
Hey,
now
we live and
Paul,
learn, guys. That phrase was
yeah, you
created for a
guys
reason, you
did
know.
great. You did great. You too,
Yeah,
I
well,
think.
I think we all did great. And quite honestly, evidently, all Bud and Barb had was exactly what they had. So that they made it as far as they did. I'm sure if we were to look at their dossier of what was to come, I mean, they kind of accomplished more than accidentally they probably ever would have had we not been in their lives.
I remember
Oh.
Paul, because you guys pursued relationships with dad, mom, as any child should have. And Paul told me one day, because he knew I was out of the loop, he goes, man, dad's just making up for what he was like as a father by being a cool grandfather, and I was glad to hear that. I really
and he
was.
did. And you talk to any one of those kids who
I wasn't going to
experienced
send
them,
my
and they're
kids
like,
out there, but I was glad to hear that.
Yeah.
"Oh, good."
Well, I'll tell you.
Go ahead, Polly.
Well, I did have a conversation with Dad on a couple of times, and the one thing I asked him, and I said to him, bullshit. But anyway, I said to him, so did you ever have fun? And he looked at me, goes, no, not a minute, not a minute of fun. And I went, oh, that's such bullshit. You guys were in your 30s, early 40s with millions of dollars. But he wouldn't give it up. It wasn't fun for him. And the other thing is, I asked him, I go, so do you feel guilty about, all the poundings we got from you? And he looked right at me and he goes, not one bit do I feel guilty about doing that.
Yeah, Dad was not remorseful. This is my problem left with Dad. My dad, I mean, I won't even get into it, but I did get one apology because I refused to stay to help with Mom until he did, because I hadn't seen him since I was whenever I came to your house. And he gave me a really, really awful, if I hurt you, I'm so sorry. And it was like, and I just looked at him and I went, you know what? This is a pretty important moment. So that pitiful apology, I will actually just take so we can get this done. Because he just didn't think he did anything wrong.
No.
No. Not the last time I saw him. And so he does now. Guys, trust me, he's over in the other lane, Polly, where it's all info, and he's going, whoa, I'm surprised they didn't kill me. Those young men.
But Dad being Dad, he's over there and he's looking at us and he's going, I told them what I was doing for them was making it so they could always make a buck.
No, he's got some guy telling him he's full of it. Don't worry. They don't over there. They're like, there is no room for his BS over there. I don't know what he's for sure. I love it. Good questions, family and fans. You're not fans, you're our family, and we appreciate it. Tough topics sometimes,
Hold on, let me get the sign in.
So we should have two versions of the podcast.
Oh, that would be wild.
Oh, wouldn't it though? That's what we're going to make our American history, y'all. Come on.
It was just, did they stay together? Did they stay together till Mom died? Yes, they did. Mom stayed loyal to Dad. And finishing this last question, she did stay loyal to Dad, stayed with him until she died. He stayed with her. They kept together. They did not get divorced.
They did. Dad and Mom did split up at one point. I only know this because I got dragged back into the house for the 9th grade. Paul, I think you'll remember the event. I came back. But I went home for the 9th grade because Dad had joined Merchant Marines and he was in the Philippines for a while. But other than that, separation time, they were together until the end. And I'm going to go one step further because this is the truth and that's what matters. My dad took amazing care of my mom while she was dying. Now, I was right there with him, and so was Ellie, her best friend, and the three of us did. However, he could have done nothing. He could have left her in the hospital. He could have done a lot of things, and he didn't. And he tended to her till her very last breath. And he needs to have that as part of his dossier. Because he could have just, Ellie was there. I was there. He could have done it.
Yeah.
So got to give him at least that.
All right. That was pretty heavy. So we don't want to end on heavy. Okay. So we'll just go to this real quickie. This is beautiful. This is Cinda. Hey, you guys. So this girl, she goes, hey, I love your podcast. I'm listening to you. I wanted to share that my family watched you guys on Ed Sullivan. My mom got enamored with Susan's look. She took me down to the salon the next day after the Ed Sullivan show, and I got my hair cut to look just like Susan's. I wonder how many other girls had that happen. Also, I was given I got a tambourine for Christmas. And as I recall, tambourines became a very big seller in the Sears catalog after Susan came on TV. Driving the tambourine stocked, Susan.
Wouldn't that be a great thing to find out? I'd feel so cool.
Isn't that cool? And so,
Yes,
and
thank
then
you.
she says, who sings the chorus with your mom on top of the rain in the park and other things? Uh, I thought it meant I love the flower, but that's not what she's talking about. Who does the last happy? Is it John? So I don't know. So I can make you
It
happy
is.
now.
Happy.
Is that
It's
Johnny up
John,
there?
Bob,
It
because
had
he
to be,
sounds like
right?
me. It's John.
And you're not on the rain in the park and other
No,
things,
but it's
actually. So
John.
it had to be
It's that
John.
little baby voice. Listen to it. It'll
Yeah.
crack you up. You'll know in a second when you hear it. It's
Hey,
Juan.
and I know that everybody knows this, but we want to try to, mention it as much as we can remember. Sorry. But John and Vicky have John, John
Oh,
Cowsills, they
Vicky
have a
Peterson,
brand
John
new album
Cowsills.
out. They just had a big, that fun thing. I forget
A
what it's
record
called, but
release party at McCabe's in LA.
yeah, but no, what's the thing where we didn't do it, but we were going to do it Friday, vinyl day in some
Oh,
store.
Record
Day.
Store Day,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they released their album on Record Store Day.
Right. And they did that. And so, yeah, everybody get it. Go look for it
Yeah,
and get it.
go get it.
It is,
Support
did we
your
say
local
we said it's
Cowsills.
Barry and Bill's tunes, right?
All
Our
Barry and
brothers.
Bill's
I
tunes.
think we've mentioned that. Yeah. What's the name of it? It's
It's
called
called
Long
After the
After
Fire.
the
Long
Fire.
After the Fire. The
After the
embers
Fire.
are
There you go. I mean, I've
burning.
heard some stuff. It's great, you guys. Johnny's,
And also look for John
killing
singing for
it.
the Smithereens and look for the two of them out there. They're getting booked. I know they're getting
Yeah.
booked.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Famous.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. One more before we hit the road for the Midwest. And really good visiting with everybody, you guys.
Yeah. And one last thing, I do want to let all my people out there. I've had 2 PSAs in the last 6 months, and they both
Oh,
come
yes.
up -0. So I have one coming up in a week, and after that one, and the doctors say, well, it's too quick before the last one, so that's going to say below -0. So not today, but maybe after the 7th of May. I'll be cancer free. I think I'm cancer free right now, honestly, because of these numbers I'm getting. And so I got one more number, and just everybody's been asking about it and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to let them all know everything is groovy, and we've opened up the gates to book more shows all the way through the winter. So nothing's holding us back.
There you
Weehaw.
go. And that's a medical report from Paul Mitchell Cowsill. I love
There
it.
you go.
You guys,
Um,
we've been at that a long time with Paulie, man. It's been a long haul.
yeah,
like
he's going to keep us posted too.
incredible. He met some
Yeah.
good doctors, I'll tell you.
He
It's been
did.
great.
Man, I
And
got lucky with those
One
cats.
last
Yeah.
thing, guys, before we go. One last
Yes.
good
Oh,
thing.
she's pushing her
I
child.
have found a clam. Russ found this last night because I had dental surgery yesterday. It is clam chowder from Rhode Island. It says it on the lid. It is phenomenal. It is called New England Clam Chowder by Blount Clam Shack. Blount. Blount. Blount Clam Shack. It's really
Yeah.
good.
Okay, but again, I don't want to. But the clams are dried in there, and then
They're
with the
not
water.
dried. They're fresh. I told
No,
you
there's
this
no
earlier.
freaking way. There's
Fresh
fresh
as
clams in there.
plastic.
Come on.
Jeez, I
They
mean,
were chewy, just like fresh.
look, hold on. We have black cans. We have black cans from the Black Pearl itself of their clam chowder.
Fresh.
I don't think it says fresh on the can. Okay. And so I don't know how they're doing it. Maybe they're zapping them like you guys mass murder those things you eat in New Orleans.
Crawfish.
Crawfish, and you dump them to all those dead bodies on the
Yeah.
table and everyone jumps in. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Or Rocky Mountain oysters. Those are always.
Is it like that too? Yeah.
All right.
Same
All
thing.
right. I've
All right,
had
everybody.
it. I love
Have a
you
good
guys.
week.
See you next
We're
week.
sorry we're late. We went extra long to hopefully
I'm
make
not.
up for
Hey,
stay after
you people out
school.
there, you say, hey, yeah, we're going to do a podcast, and you see how many times you miss. It's
Yeah,
very
you
hard to be
people
here
out there.
every week and find the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Let's complicate it and
Yeah.
hey, let's complicate it and have 3 hosts. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, bye.